Hi, y'all, it's FastFox90. Today I'm going to give you kind of my loose impressions of what I felt and thought about the Black Ops 4 multiplayer beta. I know it's a little late and it was closed a while ago, but since the game's about to come out in a week, I thought I'd kind of show you my best overall gameplay while kind of giving you my thoughts and whether you probably should buy it or not. Which, spoiler alert, you should because it's a very fun and great game. This is my best round I've ever had. I had to, I had to unfortunately mute this whole clip because I was cursing up a storm, and I am very ashamed of that. And I don't want y'all to hear that. I want to keep it PG, not for monetary reasons, but just because I don't want to be embarrassed by how bad I was cursing. But that's not any indication of how much fun I was not having. I was actually having a lot of fun during this whole beta experience. And mostly because I just one in bias, and I like Treyarch a lot better than the other two companies working on Call of Duty games. And two, I just think Treyarch does a better quality job of knowing how to make a fun gameplay that's varied. And this is probably where you'd probably hear me curse a lot because this guy was lagging a lot. Just there's a couple more moments where I curse a lot, so that's why it's muted. But like I said, I think Treyarch does a very good job of knowing what makes a fun gameplay. I think they um, know how to make certain mechanics that a lot of the other shooting games try to do, but they just know how to do it well, and they just know how to do it better. They just understand how to make it right. And I think they showed it again with this whole style of now we're going to make Call of Duty very team based and kind of like Overwatch, where there's certain specialist abilities and everyone has a certain power, and you have to work in tandem with those powers, and there's only one of them. I thought that like they did a great job. I thought it was a very good, unique way of adding to the COD gameplay experience, but also kept it true to like the Call of Duty gun gameplay that I've always enjoyed. I know sometimes the hit markers for Treyarch games aren't the best, but I felt like it was okay here. There's definitely some laggy games that was experienced, but one, it may be beta, and two, I was still finding a lot of good quality games where I wasn't uh, getting terrible lag or whatnot. If anything, hopefully we can choose what servers we hit off of. I would love that option. They do it in Rocket League. I would love it in my Call of Duty games as well. But I mean, for the most part, I was thinking I was hitting like one terrible, like I can't play a bad game every fifth game, which I mean, compared to World War II, I could not play the life out of that game. And towards the end of Black Ops 3, I couldn't. It was really bad, but Black Ops 4 beta, pretty good. Um, and one thing, another thing that I kind of always loved about Treyarch is just kind of they understood gun balance. They just understood the balance. And one thing that I've always preached about gun games is that rock paper scissors strategy that you need to adhere to, or the fact kind of like how you want to use a certain gun or perk set or a specialist now to match your style of gameplay, because everyone has a different gameplay style, and you definitely want to kind of mix and match to best suit your needs. And I think Call of Duty Black Ops 4 does the best job of kind of mixing up, having a lot of variety within your teammates, with the players, with your enemies, on how they play, because there's just so many options. There's just so many strategies that you can use. I've definitely felt while playing it that there's a certain reason why I should have an assault rifle on this map, because of the certain places I like to go, or maybe an SMG, or maybe a single shot AR, or maybe an LMG or a sniper. And I tried sniping, I wasn't that bad. Usually I suck, so maybe that's kind of helped me helped me out a little bit too with the review of this game, is because I was doing pretty good gameplay wise. And this is another part where you probably see me scream and curse if I had the volume up on this, but I'm not. So thank your ears. You get to listen to my calm, velvety voice now. Um, But like I said, I think the gun gameplay was balanced. There might have been like one gun, maybe one SMG that was too stupidly powerful, one or two weapons. But overall, I thought it was very balanced, and I liked the decision about it moving to 150. I don't mind the body armor. I don't know why everyone was going crazy. Oh no, body armor, because there was AP rounds. So, again, it's that rock, paper, scissors mentality. You're going to waste a point on AP rounds and ballistic armor. So, I am, in that regards, like I said, it's definitely that type of strategy of the rock, paper, scissors. And I thought it did well. I saw a lot of variety. I saw people not using body armor, especially towards the end of the beta. I think towards the beginning, everyone was going crazy with the body armor. But I saw a lot of variety, and that's what I love to see. In World War II, I'm gonna have to compare it to World War II because that was the previous COD game, and I absolutely hated World War II. I think I gave the beta a 6.5 or a 6, and I think that is being nice to World War II. Um, and that was just kind of like the beta of World War II, and I understood during the beta that I probably wasn't gonna like this game, but and if that's any indication for this game, I'm gonna really like Black Ops 4 because during the beta I just really had fun, and I loved the idea of it being more team based, and because me and my friends have been talking how excited we are about picking up Call of Duty and kind of playing it team based. World War II, Infinite Warfare, Ghosts, those games, Black Ops 3, those games I was more of a lone wolf. I didn't really play with my friends that much, and they kind of stopped playing COD games because they were just so redundant. But I think Black Ops 4 definitely mixes it up for the good of the game and the series. And there's just gonna be a lot more game modes. They just know how to make all those types of things work very well. So, and the maps, I thought they were good. They were open enough to where I felt like you know I could attack one route or attack a point because I like domination. Uh, I like one point go through different routes, but I understood where they may be coming from. So it wasn't like say like in World War II where it was super linear and they were only going to be you either going to get screwed that you're at B because of just where it was placed, or you're never going to get B because of just how it's. I think Black Ops 4 did a good job of making it very balanced and a lot of layers and appropriate, say, head glitches that weren't like super crazy head glitches. I just thought they did a nice balanced effort. If anything, maybe some maps could be more colorful, like this map. It kind of seemed a little bland. But I mean, I can't really complain. I thought that overall it did a good job. The graphics were a little disappointing. I kind of understand that maybe for connectivity, they want to keep it not the best graphics, not like a Battlefield 5 whatever graphics or whatnot. But I mean, I think the main point that I from the graphics that I want to point out that was a positive was that I felt everything was like concise and clear. I could see enemies from afar away and understood where they were at. Nothing seemed blurry. I think that was the most important part for me was that it wasn't it wasn't kind of hard to see enemies where I was going, and because I think in past COD games, especially I want to say Ghost, was sometimes super difficult. Like if you didn't have the thermal or that one like highlighting body tracker, it'd be impossible to see an enemy, and not because cool they were using a ghillie suit and grass, but just because of just the polygons. The hit markers were okay. I'm not that Treyarch's never been that great, but with that, but I mean, it was good. So the one thing that seemed kind of, or there are a couple things that seemed weak that I wish they kind of just strengthen and make more impactful and purposeful, were just kind of like the perks and some of the specialists and some of the attachments. And that sounds like a big negative, and it kind of is, but at the same time, it wasn't destroying the gameplay experience for me. I still had fun mixing up with different specialists and understood kind of their place. I just wish some of the specialists were a little bit more powerful, because it definitely seemed like some specialists equipment or weapons weren't as powerful as, say, the purifier or the revolver, whichever one that one is, or the battery, the one that I'm using. Those seem very powerful compared to, say, the barricade or the razor wire. I mean, I understand the idea and how some of the specialists might be better on certain maps or certain game modes, but just overall, razor wire just seems so weak compared to other specialist equipment, and some specialist weapons seem so much weaker than other weapons. So I wish they kind of just balance that out some more, or maybe make the weaker ones quicker to get and a lot more often. I don't know, maybe those just little top chops, and I hope they kind of do that. But like I said, it's not a game breaker for me. It's just one of those things that I wish. Same thing with the perks. I felt like the perks weren't like super impactful. Like, you had to have this crutch perk, that there's this one perk that everyone was using, or that I couldn't use a class without it, which is good and bad, because there's definitely been crutch perks in the past. But I just felt like, I don't know, like I didn't really need any perks. Like I felt like I wish there was just a little bit more powerful certain perks. Some perks were, it's very simple, like Ghost, the basic ones. But some other ones like Team Link just didn't seem as important or as necessary, to me to use, and which is fine by me, because I could use those points on other things. But just a little note. It didn't, like I said, distract me from the overall gameplay experience, because I just had fun with it and enjoyed myself while playing Black Ops 4. And that's the most important part. Another thing, again, is the attachments, especially for the secondary. I so wish that the secondary attachments made the secondary so much more powerful, because they did that thing where, like, if you spend even more wild card points, you can put like so many attachments on your secondary weapon to make it like a viable primary weapon. I love that idea. I think that is a beautiful idea. I've always said that should be an idea that should happen in shooting games, especially in the COD series. And I just think they maybe were a little bit too hesitant to make them overpowered. But I feel like, if you're going to spend like all your points just to make your secondary powerful, like you should definitely see, like, duh, I should definitely be using this combo for this one class if I want to use it. I felt like with the shotgun, like, it didn't really make a huge difference. Like, I felt the impact, but I just wish it was more. And I love how the shotguns became secondaries. They just seemed way too weak. I thought the pistols were pretty viable, but again, at the same time, I just, towards the end of the beta, I was like, I stopped trying to make the secondaries work, and I just saved me some points and not put a secondary on. And I always hate that feeling, and I hope that they kind of make them more powerful, or at least the base weapon more powerful. I don't know how they can fix it, really, because definitely the shotgun's just base power needs to be better, but also just the attachments and using a lot of points to make them more powerful, a lot more powerful. I think that would help help the balance in that rock paper scissors, because I really enjoyed the idea. I just think they kind of dropped the ball a little bit, just because they were trying to be too safe and not making it ridiculously powerful. But I think it should. I think you should definitely be rewarded for spending all your points on making your shotgun godly. But so like I said, overall, the issues that I have and the issues that I had of like kind of like the weak perks or maybe some of the weak specialists or some of the weak attachments were very minor, and I still felt like there's a lot of variety from the games that I've been playing, a lot of different variety in strategies and specialists and guns. I still felt that, and the experimentation that I was doing was a lot of fun. And if anything, another thing before I send off is I really hope that the kill streaks are more varied. I think Black Ops does always a pretty good job of giving some variety to kill streaks. I think Ghost lend itself to like the best variety of kill streaks, and I hope it goes back to that where there's just so much variety of kill streaks. And I think the more kill streaks the better, and the more variety of kill streaks the better. So hopefully they do that, and the ones that we saw weren't all of them, because they definitely were just so basic. That was probably my major concern, was just the basic kill streaks. But other than that, I'd probably give Black Ops 4 Beta an 8.5. I think just all those kind of little issues of, say, the perks and the kill streaks. Well, the kill streaks is a major one. But say definitely like the minor things as like the graphics or the attachments. Those were little issues that I hope they kind of tweak up, and I'm sure they will, because they've definitely been. I think Treyarch does the best job of listening to player feedback and really trying to please them. So hopefully they kind of do those tweaks. But overall, 8.5 out of 10. I definitely loved it a lot more than World War II. I can definitely see myself buying this game. So should you. And I'm going to definitely be continuing playing and make more videos, because I just have a lot more fun with this game. But that's pretty much it for me. Please leave a comment on what you liked or didn't like, and what you think they should add or improve on in the comment section. I'll reply to them. Anyways, that's it for me, y'all. It's FastFox90, and have a good morning. If I don't see you later in the day, have a good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Bye, y'all.
Hostile technical unit online. Desperate times mean desperate measures. We have to take this. Enemy UAV above. Securing B.
Oh, come on.
Nomad requesting UAV. We'll discuss that performance later.
Firebrick destroyed.